Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Morning Talks with Ro. Wow, I've been kind of having a little bit trippy luck, if you will, with the whole technology world. Last week, I know everybody was, because Instagram and Facebook and even WhatsApp, which I found out is now connected to Instagram and Facebook, or at least the people who own it, it shut down for some. It was kind of crazy. Hey, Tiffany, welcome to the conversation. It was pretty crazy, right? So I wanted to do the talk last week, but it wasn't happening. And then this week, right now, I decided to do it on Monday, which is normally when I used to do it, but now it's like either Monday or Wednesday. Hey, Shanika. I just wanted to get to you guys quicker. And it made me think about, why did it shut down? And if we were to look at it from a more spiritual or emotionally or mentally healthy perspective, what else could it mean that it shut down? Right? So I didn't know what I necessarily wanted to talk about today. I'm totally open to whatever you want to discuss, but that could be a really cool topic for us to dive into together. Why Facebook and Instagram shut down, and then how you felt about it if you were really paying attention to yourself. What kind of emotions and thoughts were you entertaining because you couldn't get access, right? What did it teach you about yourself, if anything? That it shut down. Hey, y'all, welcome to the conversation. Let me see what you're saying. Good morning. Hey, everybody. Okay, let's see what else you're saying. You said you had an amazing marathon get together with your girl, Ronnie Day. Hi. Oh, my goodness. Ronnie and Tiffany, that's what's up. You guys hooked up. Hey, Charles. Hey, Joseph. You have problems on social media. Okay, Joseph. Yeah, everybody was having them. Hey, Spencer. Jason, what up, Black? So yeah, how about we start off today's conversation talking about the other possible meanings behind the social media shutdown, if you will. What did it mean to you that you couldn't have access? How did it make you feel? If you're being honest, what else did you do with your time that you didn't, because you didn't have access? Hey, Emma. You said you barely had it on, Corinne says, anymore, so it didn't even bless up, because there are a lot of people who have it on constantly, as we know. A lot of people are addicted to social media and don't know it. And I think that quite possibly having that time down, having that time away, showed people just how addicted some of us were. And it quite possibly also could have shown you what else you could be doing that could be useful with your time. Because I find that more often than not, people are spending a lot of time on social media, and it's a huge distraction. It is stopping a lot of people from fulfilling their dreams, from following through on things. It is filling people up with other thoughts that aren't theirs. And so you think you're thinking for yourself, but really you've tapped into the mob mentality of thinking with the pop culture or status quo. You know what I mean? All of this stuff is doing a lot of reprogramming, or just programming in general, and conditioning of our minds and thoughts. And sometimes, unless something shuts down, you may not know what effect it's taking on you. So what are you guys saying? Hey, Abdul. You said, Emma says, I watch television with my family. Okay, so you spent some quality time. Shanika says, I just read books and did some studying on mixing. That's what's up. So, hopefully, if it did affect anybody that's in the chat, you realize the importance of taking your power back. What does Maxine Waters say? Reclaiming your time, right? And using that time to pour into something that means something to you. Whether it be your family, like Emma was saying, whether it be a book that you could read or need to read that's going to feature knowledge for a dream that you're manifesting, whether it's, paying attention to your children. Have you guys ever been out? Whoa. Have you guys been out in public and seen adults and kids go out to eat and they are completely buried in their phones? Like, there's times I've seen kids tugging at their parents' clothing. Ma, be quiet. Not even paying attention. Totally engrossed in their phone. And what is that producing for their kids? As it pertains to connection, right? As it pertains to growth and development, brain connection and development, as it pertains to attention deficit. Like, if we were honest, and if there are some parents in here, Are you aware of your social media usage, and just beyond that, phone usage, that it could possibly be taken away from the connection with the people that you love, that are around you? Let me see what you guys are saying. Tiffany says, amazing. Okay, good morning, Victor. You make yourself and family shut down, especially dinner time. Bless up, right? Shout out to dinner time. Who does dinner time anymore? How many parents, how many of you out there are taking the time to pause and do dinner time? Have everybody come and sit down at the table. When is the last time somebody in this chat has done that? For real. Like, that's something that we used to do when I was younger. My parents would have us come to dinner and we would all sit at the table and we would eat. Now, we, of course, were not in the era of social media. We weren't in the era of just the internet, you know, period. That didn't come until later. I was probably in my 20s or something when that got really popular. So I did get the benefit of family time. But now that we live in this day and age, and some of us could be getting away from some simple traditions like that, but they're so meaningful. When is the last time you sat down with your loved ones, especially if you have a family, and did family time and had dinner together? Wow. Joseph says, hey, do you need to keep on, player? I'm a musician. I don't know what you're saying, honey. Tiffany says, Shanika Bowens. Okay, you guys are having a conversation. That's what's up. Bless up that you picked up the book, Shanika. Good morning, Mike. It did not affect me. It did spark a conversation, though. Okay, what kind of conversation did it spark, Charles? We're talking, if you just joined the conversation, welcome to Morning Talks with Ro. We're talking about what it meant to you when the social media network shut down for that day and they were all splotchy and crazy. Did it teach you something about yourself? Did it expose something about your behaviors and patterns? Did it show you just how addicted you might be to it? And did it also, even if it didn't, is this conversation bringing up for you, wait a minute, I am totally distracted. Wait a minute, this is in the way of me manifesting what I say I want for my life. Wait a minute, I did have to do some things that I'm not used to doing because I wasn't able to get access, you know? Okay, hey Marty. Let's see, Shanika says, I always see people on their phone. A lot of people older than me. Most of the time, I'm the only person with an actual book in my hand. Shout out to books in the hand, right? Like, that's becoming a lost art. Spencer Schofield, you said, I have to bribe my kids to come and eat with me. I mean, because they're so addicted, right? The thing about the social media thing, one of them, is that I don't know how many of you know that when you get these alerts, it is providing these small dopamine squirts, meaning it is pumping out a chemical into your system that is similar to a high from a drug. They know that. They know that every time you get stimulated from these dings and blings and alerts, that you're going to keep coming back for more because it makes you feel more alive. You're getting some type of stimulation that makes you feel more alive. It's also, oh gosh, I don't know if I've talked to you guys in a while about the 6 human needs, right? So this is something that I learned from the motivational guru, if you will, Tony Robbins. And he talks about the 6 human needs that we have. And so if we were to break them down really quickly, there's a need for certainty. There's a need for uncertainty. There's a need for significance. Significance. There's a need for connection / love. There's a need for growth. And then there's a need for contribution, right? He is suggesting, the science of it, behavioral science, is suggesting that if 3 of those needs are captured, are satisfied within whatever thing you may be indulging in, whatever activity you may be involved with, it can become an addiction. So social media, right? Let's see how many needs from the 6 human needs that were listed it covers. It definitely covers the need for certainty, right? You know that when you come back to the app, you're going to be social with people. You're going to see new information. You're going to be able to catch up and talk to some people that you want to talk to, right? It's a place for you to come and relax if that's what it does for you, or laugh if it provides entertainment. So that it definitely takes care of the need for certainty. It also takes care of the need for uncertainty, right? When you come back on social media, you don't know exactly what you're going to see. You don't know exactly what content is going to pop up in your feed. You don't know what stimuli you're going to get today, right? It also can take up the need for significance. How many people probably come on wanting to feel some measure of importance to whoever is paying attention. And so you come back and you make a post and you hope you get how many likes or whatever. You know what I mean? That's a thing. If you have a great maybe persona on Facebook, if you're not, or Instagram or any of this social media stuff, if you think that if you've attached that to your self-worth, then it can provide you with what you feel is a measure of significance. That's the top 3 needs already covered, right? Oh my gosh. And then love and connection. It does cover that need too, doesn't it? Like you get to connect with people that you love. You get to connect, make new friends. You get to have a life outside of whatever your other life is going on. And some people don't even have friends in the tangible world, but they do feel they have friends in the digital world. And so it can provide satisfaction in the area of love and connection, right? It can also provide for the need for growth. Right? You can come, for example, that's something that I like to contribute to. This is growth. If you're tuned into Morning Talks with Ro, I usually bring content, or I at least intend to bring content that helps you have breakthrough, that helps you to heal, that helps you to reduce more human suffering, something, right? So it can provide growth. And then it can provide contribution. Well, hot dog, you know, what are you going to give back? I'm giving back via social media, right? So this covers all 6. Whoa, I've never even broken it down like this. This covers all 6 of the 6 human needs that they say from behavioral science, and you wonder why it can become an addiction. So if something is like that, usually in order to remedy it or to reduce its power in your life, you want to find another activity that can encompass the needs that it takes care of for you. So you would then ask yourself, possibly, what else could I pay attention to? What else could I do that would also satisfy these 6? These 6 human needs that this is covering. You got to find something that at least takes up 3 of them, at least, right? Based on the science, that is going to help you to shift in the addiction or reduce its power in your life. And then on top of it, you're getting these blings and dings and alerts that's causing these dopamine squirts. No wonder it can become addictive. So awareness is the first key to change. So just being aware that that's what can happen, hopefully it makes you pay attention to yourself, pay attention to your habits, pay attention to what you're doing with your time, and consciously decide to do something different. Consciously decide to give your attention to something else. Whew. Whoa. Okay, that was wow. All right, let's see. Corinne says, I've seen parents give their kids the phone to keep them busy while they were eating out as a family, and they fall out when you try to take it from them. Yeah, they're taking away that drug, man. Shirley says, we always sit at the table when we have dinner. Bless up. Joseph Kearney says, dinner time, game night, all those things, exercise. Yes. Love game night. Hey, Beverly, welcome to the conversation. Kim Ling says, we have family dinner every Sunday. One person plans the entire menu. That's beautiful. My husband and I work opposite shifts. So it's one day we all have together, church in the morning, family dinner at night. Beautiful, Kim. Like, I feel we have to be deliberate in creating family time. We have to be deliberate in creating social connection, loving connection time. You don't want that to get lost in translation because you're so distracted and you don't realize that you're addicted to this thing, right? Okay. Joseph Kearney says, I was talking to someone else when I met you, the keyboard player. Sorry about that. Oh, okay. Okay. Corey Wesley says, it reminded me to get off social media and live. Bless up, man. Shirley Ann, okay, speaking to each other, bless up. Charles says, we had a conversation about how the youth today have no idea what a Walkman typewriter or even cursive writing is nowadays. Can you believe that? They don't even teach cursive anymore in schools. Wow. Like, I was thinking about how our writing could look foreign to kids in a couple decades. Like, they won't even be able to read it. That's so deep. Okay. Shanika says, oh, yes. They know exactly what they're doing. I have to turn my phone off sometimes. Yeah, man. And I highly recommend, if you're finding that you're being distracted by your phone, your smartphone, your smart devices, or just social media, turn the alerts off on your phone. Go back and check it. Excuse me. Go back and check it when you're ready. Do you have to have it alert you when you get a message? Does Messenger have to pop up and tell you that somebody's reaching out to you? Because I find that that's part of the problem too, is that we've allowed these things when we're not even on them to come and take our attention away. Okay. Beverly says, I was glad it shut down and hoped people would reflect on themselves. This is a spirit of arrogance on Facebook. Woof, 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 woof. Speak. Bindu says, hey all, my mom is still to this day not allowing us to bring phones to the table when we're at home. Yes, and no eating in front of the TV or in the living room unless we have royalty visiting. Hello, I love that. Thank you, Bindu. Beautiful. That was a good word. Bless up, Abdul. I'm glad you got some great value from it. Let's see. Peace, everyone. Hope all is well. That's what's up. Now they can't read the Constitution. It's in cursive. Whoop! Whoop! So much is changing, right? So much is, and if we don't keep some of these traditions as parents, as guardians, as leaders of new school, if you will, if we don't keep some of these traditions just on the strength, if we don't keep them around, yeah, they're going to be even more lost and even more of a slave to the system. Even more, like when we had to do research back in the day, you had to go look through encyclopedias. You had to earn that information. All you got to do now is Google it. And for all we know, Google's crazy because everybody can make a contribution to Google. Hopefully people are doing their due diligence on Google and making sure that you're not going to just one source to get the answer to some information. Hopefully you're traversing a few different sources to make sure that you're running across the same or similar information in different places so that it kind of validates what you're finding. Because even Google is a little special right now because everybody can contribute. Think about how I was thinking about this maybe a couple months ago. I can't remember, but Photoshop. Like, that's so deep to me that now people can Photoshop things into a picture. We don't even know what we're seeing anymore. We don't even know if it's the truth or a lie. People can create crime, do crime behind Photoshop. For lack of a better word in this moment, I don't want to use victims, but put criminal activity on people just with the tricks that we can do on the computer. Like, it's just a different day and age, and our vigilance, I feel, is more necessary now than ever. And we have to increasingly, I think, become more aware of what we're allowing to be introduced into our lives, what we're allowing our kids to be programmed by and conditioned by, just because you don't want to be bothered with them or just because you got tired. Like, really pay attention to what they're watching. Really pay attention to how often they're doing something. Really pay attention to how I don't even see kids riding bikes anymore. That was like the thing to do when we were coming up. Like, you were social, you were active, and I get that things have shifted, but I think it's up to us to encourage more of that behavior. I was wondering if kids still play double dutch, and I think that the wave of the future, aside from it digitally running our matrix, if you will, is tapping back into organic connections and relationships. How do we connect as humans again? That's going to be an art form. That's going to be an art form. Wow. And I really could deep dive off into that conversation as well. But let me see what you guys are saying. If anything, you had a whole set of encyclopedias to do all your research with. Yes. Oh, thank you, Tarif. Yeah. We used to have a bookcase full of encyclopedias. And you had to earn that research. You had to earn that answer. Which I think is really good, because there's something about earning something that our parents came up on, the generations of past came up on. They said that Generation X, which is what I'm from, we were like the split between old school values and new school values. We came in, with both of those things happening. We were around for the VCR and the DVD and social media. Like, we were split. So we kind of have the best of both worlds, if you will. No bikes, no tag, no nothing. I know, right? So, yeah, man. Maybe that's our talk today. just to remember to re-engage with life. Remember that these things are programming and conditioning us if we're not aware, if we don't stay vigilant, which can happen, right? Your mind can be taken in so many different places. Your kids' minds can be taken in so many different places. These dopamine squirts that you're getting from these alerts and stuff, it's programming us. It's teaching you to come back for the stimuli. It's teaching you to stay distracted. It's teaching you to stay disconnected. They say we're more connected than ever, but we're also more disconnected than ever. When we start talking about more organic connections, a lot of us are not thinking for ourselves. We think we are, but we're not. A lot of us, are trapped in the thoughts of the matrix, the cyber reality, the mob mentality of the general public, the status quo, what's popular to say. And then you're getting so publicly shamed if you think outside of the box, or you don't agree with a movement that's happening, that people are just being like bullied into silence. So the first key to, I think, remedying something like this is awareness that it's even happening. Awareness that it's even happening. What are you guys saying? Not Toys R Us anymore either. Kids don't know how to be kids anymore. Everything is tech now. Yeah, very tech. Meditation is key to a healthy life. A lot of people don't even know how to be still. They don't take the time to be still. And when they are still, they're so restless, they don't know what to do with themselves. And what we probably don't realize